Hi everybody, my name is Dr. Yasmin Flores and welcome back to another episode of The Arts at EPCC. With me today is a great friend, the one, the only, Mr. Billy Towns. Here he is.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
It's always a pleasure to be here and talking to you, Yasmin, or Dr. Flores.
Yes.
Appreciate it. And what a brilliant show. I love the show, The Arts at EPCC. It's very nice that we have this, so I am glad to be here.
Thank you for coming. We appreciate having you.
We're going to do some talking tonight,
yes.
And it's art, so bring it on. I love talking about the arts. Bring it on.
So you work in two capacities at EPCC. You work on the mass comm side, and you work on the music side.
Yes.
So I know you as the fabulous pianist. The MIDI teacher, right? And MIDI, can you explain what MIDI means?
MIDI is a protocol of how music devices talk to each other, and it was invented in the 80s. And they had a need because you had somebody playing one keyboard that wants to go and connect with another keyboard, yet they want to combine it, and it just makes them more proficient in recording. But it's a protocol of how musical instruments combine and talk together. And it's about over a 30-year-old protocol, and basically it's evolved to where now we have software to where it has that MIDI type of intuitiveness to where now we can use software to talk to other software. We can use software to talk to hardware instruments, physical instruments, and everything. And MIDI is like now a DNA type of thing to where it's built into certain keyboards, certain software and everything to where we can all talk together. And the language generates what I teach, which is electronic music and how to program music and how how electronic music can work together. In recording all different styles of music. So.
Wow, and I've been in your classes.
And it stands for Musical Instrument Digital Interface.
There it is. Yeah. Okay, that's what I was looking for too.
Okay.
So now, and I've been in your classes, and basically students, this is a class, and that is, let me see, MUSC 1331.
Yes.
Yes, and that's the first one. So that's MIDI 1, and he also offers MIDI 2. So in there, students start off, you introduce them to the web page or the program, and they pick from different sounds. They pick from all kinds of little clips that they can piece together.
And the good thing about it is they don't have to have one iota of experience playing an instrument. You can just, all you need is a love for music for my class. You don't have to be a musician per se. And everything like that. You don't have to have classes or have a music. No, you can come as just a connoisseur of music. You love music, and all I ask if you in my class is just have a creativity of what you like to create. We explore the mind. We try to get those notes out of people's mind and everything.
Right.
And they come in, and of course they should have a basic knowledge of operating a computer. Just a basic knowledge of operating the computer. But everybody has that now. You get that in high school, middle school, whatever.
Right.
Elementary school. And so just operating a computer. If you know how to operate a computer and call up software on Mac, and even if you're a PC user, Mac, the crossover Mac is really easy. But just come in and we teach you basically the interface. This is what you have, and it's drag and drop. Everybody it's drag and drop. You have various sounds. What kind of sounds you like? What kind of rhythms? We teach you how to program rhythms. And some rhythms, the thing practically does it for you. And even though I kind of throw in a very, very big old watered down music theory, watered down, and on beat, you can do major. Let me play you major. You can do minor. See the difference? And when they get that, all you have to do is play a chord, 2 notes that can relate to each other, and then you can apply it to programming music. Or just one note, And I tell people, you can program like that. You don't have to do things like that. Some of them come in with some skills. That's great.
Right.
But you can just do that. All you have to do is have, you go to piano, do that, and now apply it to how you can input music, input notes. And the software says, okay, what do you want to do today? Okay, you can do that, have that rhythm, put that note together. And the more and more they learn to do it, because I've had people go from 0, now they're creating cinematic pieces.
Wow.
It's that easy. The software helps you. It's that easy.
Wow.
And they have a lot of fun because all it takes is what kind of mind you have. It's the limits on your creativity.
Oh my goodness.
It's a beautiful thing. The software helps, and then the creativity. And we really have very smart software at EPCC, very smart software. We use Logic for Mac And of course, the Mac's a great computer and everything, but some of them carry it over to their PCs at home and everything. And it's a lot of fun. I even use a lot now. I'm not really a Mac user,
right?
But now I am, thanks to working at EPCC for the last 12 years.
Yeah.
And it helps my nephew. He works for Apple, so it helps a little bit on that.
Oh, okay.
But I'm mostly a PC user. But now I cross-utilize both platforms, and I've learned how to do that. And it's a lot of fun.
That's awesome. And so let me kind of, and I'll delve into that and then segue into the mass comm aspect of it. So that no one is too confused out there, because I teach music theory, which is I guess all the little bolts, screws and bolts of everything, of how everything works. And so you point out something. So through this software, they don't need to know anything as far as music goes. And so
not really,
right. But I will encourage those to do learn how to read music.
Yeah.
It's helpful. And so you do also have those students that are starting from scratch. And then I know you do have some students that are actually wonderful musicians.
Oh yeah, and that helps.
Right.
And I'm glad you said that. I'm gonna be a little selfish. I think every single musician of today that comes through school that is getting educated, whether you're in composition, you're in theory, you have a applied course, everything, I think because we live in 2022, you should learn how to use some type of software to be creative.
Right.
Granted, you can use Finale, which is composition software and everything, but with Logic and my class MIDI, my gosh, you're surrounded by it, because I know they listen to it on their phones. I know they listen to it on their computers and everything. You can practice to it. Everything. There's something that electronic music can do for you as a musician, period.
Right.
Whether it can help you practice, whether it can help accompany you, or whether you can record. Hey, wouldn't you like to record yourself as any musician? So that's why the ones that come in and accomplished, and I've had many of those, especially the piano players. They come in, and they've been so wonderful, and the compositions I've had, you've heard some, I've shared some with you, and everything. They take it to another. They maybe had some experience recording, but now you can record, and you can now accompany yourself by creating electronic music or tracks to perform to or program it. And I've had some really, matter of fact, I have a student right now who's really, really good in cinematic type of music.
Oh, awesome!
And everything, and now it just takes their playing. In other words, when I was young, I didn't have digital software. Well, okay, I'm aging myself.
Yeah.
I better stop that. But I use the old tape.
right.
Exactly. Anyway, but I was doing the same thing, but I was recording myself, and I had keyboards, electronic music, and I just did. But now we can do digitally, but it helped my playing.
Right.
Because I can accompany myself. You learn theory, you learn beats, you learn scalar patterns, you learn this, you learn that, because I think electronic music can help the general musician improve their craft. I really, really believe that. I think every musician should learn some part of electronic music just to help them learn and advance on their instrument. That's my thing.
Sure.
That's
right.
So yeah, you can do that.
That's really awesome. So now, and you keep pointing out cinematic music. So for some of those mass comm students who may take your MIDI course, for example, talk to me a little bit about the courses you teach on the mass comm side.
The mass comm side, it's basically if they're going to take my audio production course, which is 23 COMM 2303. A lot of them are film students. Or students looking to do what these guys are doing behind the cameras here. Okay, get into broadcasting, camera, all that. And you must know audio. Everybody sees the visual, but I tell first day my students get there in audio production, I say, yes, a film's great, but guess what? You have to hear it. You need audio. And audio can make or break a video program, a film, a TV show. Audio can make, I don't care what you're seeing. Audio can make and break. So we need to know that. So I come in and I teach them mainly recording vocals, recording voices, recording dialogue. And we really analyze the recording of dialogue and the approach to recording using microphones, editing it, the basic history on recording and how you can apply it to film. How you apply it to TV shows like this and everything like that.
Right.
And that's what they're learning. They're breaking down the schematics of audio production.
Okay.
And some of them are going into radio broadcasting, so they should know the elements and some of the equipment, some of the software, like EQs, effects, compressors, and how you apply that to dialogue, how you can apply that to music. They get into that, and it spills over to to recording for the visual, for TV shows, for film, and everything. And their last project in my class is creating a short film, which encompasses the visual plus the audio. And so going out using the microphones, going out using this, getting ambient sounds and everything. So we break down everything audio in my audio production course, and because they have to. If they're getting into film, they're getting into TV and radio, they have to. So we do a lot of that in audio.
Awesome. So they probably take the visual side with somebody else through Mass Comm.
Yes, that's video production.
Okay, video production.
And I work, and that's Ramon Villa, that's Dr. or Michael Head. And we work together to where they have their projects more or less in parallel.
Right.
So we've learned that over the last couple of years. You know what? My students are working on this. Well, my students are. Well, let's kind of coordinate. So we've done that.
That's good.
So the audio. They use the audio production techniques they learn with the video, and and they use the video techniques they learn with the audio. So we've all kind of orchestrated that.
Awesome.
It works out really well.
Yeah, we've had Michael Head on the show before, and so he's told us a little bit.
He's great. Yeah,
he really is, and so. And this is really amazing. And I do have to say, so if you take a look at the EPCC Music channel on Instagram, for example, we have some old commercials on there that you can find, or on our Facebook channel. And the music are students from the MIDI 1331 class. And I listened to some of the recordings, and they sound legit. Like the commercial.
These and some of them, a lot of them are musicians that had a little bit of experience, and the classes helped them create really good pieces, good productions. But some of them started from zero, Yasmin, zero, and they just use their creativity. They learn the software. They listen, because I'm on my 40th. There you go. I've been recording since, and I said, I've been doing this, and we still do it with from synthesizers to software and everything.
Yeah.
And I said, you'll get a better sound if you do this, or how about this type of arrangement, or how about this and that, and we break it all down, and they've finished the class. I mean, some of these students blow me away.
Yeah.
Of how going from zero to wow, because they just get into it and they're so creative.
Right.
And that's what you're listening to. Those students. And I'm proud at the end of every semester. Go, wow, these students have done a lot of good stuff, and it's a lot of fun. Did I mention they have a lot of fun doing it? They have a lot of fun. Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you. I mean, they go on and on about that class. It's like, music theory is like spinach. If I had to compare everything to food, right? Music theory is like spinach, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, all those things that you're like, right? Yeah, exactly. They're like, can we put some cheese on it, right? Yeah. And you are like the pizza of the entire department. I mean, because
we're using pepperoni Italian sausage, and we even get those jalapenos in there, man, because we get all types of music in there.
Yes, you do. Rap music.
The music they listen to on the radio, or the music they've been listening to that you see them in their headphones, or when they drive the EPCC and they go to class, all that, now they get to create that style of music, because I leave it open for everything.
Yeah.
And I get rap, I get jazz, I get rock and roll, I get country, I get Tejano, I get orchestral music, I get everything. I get everything, and because all my students are a very eclectic bunch and everything. And I said, you do whatever. I said, whatever comes out of your head, that's what I want. But let me show you the basics of how to program.
Right.
And let me show you some little bitty theory basics of on beats, and a little bit of theory on some music and how notes kind of correlate to each other, and everything like that.
Right.
And then they can go on and do whatever, and everything like that.
Yeah, that's really.
I've even, and you may not know this, because I think my class is after yours or something like that. Sometimes I see your theory stuff on those. Okay, this is what she's doing in here, like that, and I play. I do that, but you have some really simple things that say, okay, look at this chord. If I play this and I play this, how do they relate to each other? You know, so you're kind of doing a few things for me. We're leaving that stuff on the board.
So funny.
So thank you.
You're welcome. I'll start leaving stuff on the board more often.
You just did that. You did 6/8 the other day. 6/8.
Oh, okay. Yeah, exactly. That's.
But they get into that, and the ones that don't know music, I say, this is the theory. Yeah, I know what you hear on the radio, but the people who produce it on the radio, they are pros and they come from these basics
Right.
of how to put together music and
Right.
everything. And I have a lot of students that, they're like, wow, when we break down music, it's a beautiful thing, and this is what you hear on the
Right.
radio and how we put together and blah, 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 and if you can count, you can create music. You can create music.
Exactly. Music, music fundamentals is like butter. It's so simple, so delicious though. I'm hungry. Apparently I'm hungry. So let me talk to you a little bit about, and I'm sure you've given your background. I'm sure there's probably 10,000 videos of you on YouTube, and I know you have your own YouTube channel as well.
Yeah.
And so, but let me ask you a little bit about yourself, because when we see you, you're always selling us the product, right? It's the MIDI, it's the class, the students, we're recruiting. You're from?
Originally,
Yes.
New York City.
Okay.
But I was born in New York City there, but I take that back. I was just born in New York City. I spent a couple years there, but I'm an Army brat. I'm from El Paso, Texas. I've been here since the 70s and everything.
Okay.
There I go dating myself. I don't care. Whatever. Yeah. But I'm an Army brat. My dad was in the Army and everything. So I went to Irvin High School. I graduated from Irvin High School. And the thing about it, a lot of people don't know. Some people, especially when I do my films, my degree is in aeronautics. I know.
That's
I know.
right.
I know. I love flying. I'm a pilot. The bass player that I play with, Jim Fall, he's a professional. We love flying.
Yeah.
I have over 1,000 hours of flying. I did the aerial flying for our film, for our last two films. So if you ever want to talk aviation, I love doing that too, by the way, but this is not an aviation show.
Right.
I love, I went to Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University.
Okay.
And yes, my degree is in aeronautics, in aeronautical sciences, and business too, in aeronautical business. But the love, my mother was a piano teacher.
Right.
And that's where the love of music went into. But we lived on Okinawa, and I used to see the SR-70, the world's fastest jet go by, and right there, that hits you to where I want to do that. And I did, and I still love flying. We still like aircraft and all that. But when we were at Embry-Riddle, my junior and senior year, I paid for all my books and my gas and all my, for buying things through gigs. We played gigs.
Wow.
Jim and I, when we were juniors and seniors at Embry-Riddle, and we toured the whole. As a matter of fact, the student government, we had a little band at Embry-Riddle,
Okay.
and they paid for us to go on tour with all these colleges around Arizona. It was amazing.
Oh my goodness.
It was. We had a lot of fun. So we did that. So I applied my music when I was in school and everything, but I got my degree in aeronautics and business and everything like that. But the musician was always in there, And we even played for the dorm one time. I had my keyboard in my room and everything. And on weekends we just turned our amps outside, and the whole dorm came and we put on concerts. I I can go on and on and on, but it was so much fun. But it was a huge technical college, and a lot of my friends, they're out there flying for American Airlines and Southwest, and they're in the Air Force. One of them is a general in the Air Force, and she is in charge of all the satellites in space. It's amazing. It's amazing what some of the friends, and we were all hanging out in the dorms and everything. So.
How about that?
Yeah, it's a lot
That's
of fun.
hilarious.
I love flying. It's a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Do you own your own plane?
No, we don't. I
You
do
don't?
not. Yeah, that's
Okay.
another story.
Oh, okay.
But we get to fly some really good stuff.
That's awesome.
Aircraft, yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
So that's kind of your background. You learned piano from your mom, and
She's a wonderful classical player.
awesome. Okay, and how long were you taking with her? Did you get to a point where she was like, okay, you need to go and study with?
You just took the words out of my mouth.
Okay.
After about, I would say, we were like 4 or 5 when we came to El Paso, because she was teaching us in New York. When we came to El Paso, she was a very busy piano teacher here in El Paso.
Wow.
She taught a lot of military kids.
Okay.
I remember she was full. We were always having piano students coming in and out of the house and
how
everything.
about
I mean, it was like, and she put on recitals and all that stuff. And it's either I stopped practicing for her, or she was too busy, or it was one of the two. But I remember she put us with one of her friends taught us piano, and that lady, her name forget, but that lady taught me jazz beat which is a piano piece, and that's how I got into jazz and liking jazz.
How about
and
that?
the syncopations and hearing it, and it was just music that I really, and that was the start of it. And then I got into it in middle school at Canyon Hills. And then the guy that really did it, the one that really takes the credit is my band director at Irvin High School, Jimmy Olivas, who owns Olivas Music here, and we still play together. He's the one that says, okay, Billy, you have this ability, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Jazz band at Irvin High School, the rest is history, and we had a lot of fun. And, so I still credit him for really opening my eyes and the love for music, in band music, and of course in jazz. And he's still an incredible educator, and of course he owns Olivas Music today. So
and great saxophonist.
And incredible. Oh yeah, and we still play together. We play at Landry's, on Fridays. He still sounded great. So it's pretty rare that you get to play with your band director and still have fun professionally and everything.
Right.
It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
And wrote a song for him and everything. The whole gamut. So yeah,
I think everybody has a Jimmy Olivas story.
Yeah.
And mine goes back to. Here we go. Now I'm going to date myself. Here you go. 1991. He used to come to the elementary schools with a tackle box and sell reeds. Because, a lot of us. Yeah.
Jimmy Olivas,
Yes.
Bob Farley.
It was still under Bob Farley. And so he would come around and he would sell because it was like a lot of our parents couldn't get out to the store.
Yeah.
I mean, some of our parents would work until 5 p.m., 6 p.m. And so he would come by. He would, okay, guys, on Friday I'll be here.
Yeah. And he's still that. Jimmy is, I have unbelievable admiration for him. His brother Marty Olivas, who's another story, but he's great. I love Marty. Marty,
great trumpet.
We played together, everything. Marty's like my brother.
Yeah.
But Jimmy, it just admires that he's, not only is he still doing it, he's been doing it so many years, and he was one of El Paso's best band directors ever.
Oh, absolutely.
And incredible educator, still educating, and just a legacy here. So what he's doing, and kudos to him. He's just amazing.
Absolutely.
Since the '80s and everything.
Yeah.
And again, still doing it.
Right.
Of course, he has Olivas Music. But he's.
I walked in the other day, and I was doing some business with the manager there, and he was in his office practicing, and he sounds stellar.
Yeah.
I mean, just amazing.
Yeah, it gets better. It's great. So that's my background, and I'm a product of the El Paso band, scene here, the educational system here in El Paso.
Sure. Right.
EPISD, of course, but I've involved myself with YSD and everything.
Right.
But a product of coming through the band programs from elementary school all the way here.
Right.
My degree is not in music; it's in more of a technical, aviation and everything. But of course, I made myself a professional in music by, of course, a lot of practicing, and I took some courses at Berkeley and all that stuff. So it's just, I really, me as a professional, I really want to make the best possible music and play as best as I can, all that. So I got into it. In other words, I was pretty, I got pretty busy, in college.
So, right. Yeah. I mean, and so Jimmy's an institution. You're an institution. I mean, so Jazz at Sunset.
Yeah.
That's been going on.
God, we're on our what, 8 years?
8
or 9 years?
Wow.
Yeah, Jazz at Sunset's another, thanks to Arvis Jones. They started it, and then they saw that I was bringing in groups around El Paso, not EPCC.
Yeah.
We were producing shows around El Paso.
Right.
And then Arvis says, well, would you like to bring in the group for Jazz at Sunset? Yeah. And so we discussed it and everything, and it just evolved to where I had a lot of friends in LA and in Texas and in Chicago and in New York. We brought in these guys, they played at the clubs, we can feature them here and blah, blah. And all of a sudden, we brought in really incredible world-class musicians.
They're fantastic.
That come, and you've seen them, that come play at EPCC and put on shows, and they'll play with the local top musicians here in El Paso.
Right.
They'll bring in their musicians, and Jazz at Sunset every September, and now in February, we get treated by incredible musicianship, world-class musicianship from LA, from Houston, from New York, from Mexico and everything. It's
Yeah.
just a pleasure. We bring them in; they become great friends, and I love it. I love producing that show, and of course, not only musicians, local musicians from El Paso and groups are featured too. So it's a
Yeah.
great thing for El Paso. It's great. It's a lot
You
of fun.
do so many things for the college. The Jazz at Sunset, the MIDI classes, the MASCOM.
Armin Harrison called me and says, "Billy, would you like to teach, MIDI music here at
Yeah.
EPCC?" This was 12 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
And I thought about it, well, because I was teaching at Coronado or
right.
just clinicking
Yeah.
at Coronado and playing all around town. It wasn't really, but I love teaching. I find myself really
Right.
showing the kids, like that. Okay, and Armin, he introduced me and he told me, we'll let you do this and everything like that. And I looked at the lab, which is nowhere near our lab today. Our lab is, thanks to Dan Becker, he's updated
Right.
so much.
Right.
Incredible lab technician.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give it a whirl.
Yeah.
And then Dan and I, he's a lab, we just started having fun teaching, learning software. I got into learning the Mac because I really didn't know Mac, learned the Mac and applying it. But the software, we did have PCs, but the software and getting it, and we developed a good curriculum to have fun, what I'm
Right.
talking about today.
Right.
And we love it. And we're going to upgrade it. Hopefully
Right.
we'll have, we can talk about it. Can we talk about it?
You know what? It's so.
Okay, we're going to upgrade in the future. We'll
Yes,
just say that. We're
let's
going to
say
upgrade.
that.
Okay,
Let's say that.
We're going to upgrade our course in the future
Right.
to where EPC, I think, is going to be one of the leading educational institutions to teach MIDI music, MIDI software music, and even audio engineering. I
Right.
think it's coming down the pike and everything. So a lot of good things at EPCC in the music department, and what we teach is coming down because we're having a lot of fun. Yeah, we had the pandemic that kind of stifled things a little bit, but you know
Throw a
what? We'll get
wrench.
past that.
Right, a wrench into everything.
Big,
but.
huge wrench, but
Right.
we're going to get past it. And I thank yourself, Blaine, who's now moved up, and everybody. The administration at EPCC has been fun. Really good people to work for.
Absolutely.
And I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun.
Awesome.
And now that we get to create all this stuff coming, it's growing. It's growing. So
Absolutely. Well, when it comes around, our surprise, because it's a surprise, right?
Yeah.
When that surprise comes around, we're going to have you back on the show, and you can talk to us about.
Oh yeah, and we'll have a lot to talk about, Yasmin, when that happens.
Yes, I know. It may have to be like
A lot to
an
talk about.
hour-long special with Daniel Becker.
Yeah, because we are EPCC's carving out a whole new section. We'll see in a couple of years,
Right,
So
exactly.
yeah, and we want to compete. We want to invite all the high school students that are watching this and everything. If you have a love for music, if you want to create music, and you don't have to be the world's greatest musician, it's great if you're a musician. But if you just have the love for music, I invite you to check out either my MIDI course on using the Logic software and creating music using MIDI and software. And if you have a love for films and audio and radio, we have our MASCOM audio production course to do that one. And I am going to challenge every student to be creative. That's what I love to do. I like challenging. I'll show them the stuff I've done, show them the stuff that other musicians done, and everything. And now you are here to do it.
Right.
We are here to teach you to do it and to have fun in these courses and to learn something.
Right.
I want you to learn something. So
Billy, thank you.
Oh, it's fun.
It's a short show.
That's it.
That's it.
I'm just getting started. I'm just getting started. What you had me here for?
I know.
What was that, like 5-10 minutes?
I know.
No, it's you are so
Yeah.
welcome. Great to be here at the
Yeah.
Arts at EPCC. Anytime you want me
Absolutely.
back, just let me know. And thank you very much.
Yes,
It's fun.
absolutely.
It's fun.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Towns. And thank you, everybody, for joining us again. We appreciate you. Thank you and goodbye.